there, business owners and entrepreneurs. You've landed on The Marketing Corner, brought to you by CS Design Studios. Every week, we serve up essential insider tips and powerful strategies to elevate your brand. So, let's level up your marketing game. Stay sharp, stay tuned, and let's kickstart your path to marketing excellence. Right here, right now. Your adventure begins.
Wrap the story up because I know it's a long story. We basically are, I'm standing, okay, so everyone around us was going out of business. This is the time when everyone was having a hard time. So my landlord's like, oh, go to that spot and get yourself some stuff. So from the very beginning, I couldn't afford anything. So I was like, where can I go? So she's like, go to that place. I went out, it was like a yogurt place. And they were like, they left everything because they basically didn't pay rent. When you don't pay rent, they close the doors and they seize everything. Oh, wow. So I went in there and I got my first cooler, my first counter, my first everything. Wow. And then that was our refrigeration.
It was meant to happen.
It was meant to happen.
Yeah.
Cross street, a bar didn't make it. And my landlord's like, go in there. So I go in there and I'm looking at the stuff and I don't see anything but a big keg cooler. And I call my brother up and I say, hey, do you want any of this stuff? He's like, well, what's in there? And I said, well, we have really this and that. He's like, that keg cooler? You said the keg cooler? I was like, yeah, you want it? He's like, I don't want it, but you should get it. And I was like, why? I don't need it. He's like, I don't know. You might need it one of these days. It was weird moments. And I was like, okay. So I said, landlord, what would you like? She's like, just give me like a couple $100. I don't care. So we get all the workers in the area to help out, and we just drag it and destroy the asphalt on University and Park, just destroy it all. And we drag it into our business, plop it there, it sits for another year. It has towers that are not used whatsoever. And I'm sitting there talking to some customers, and we're just no business, and we're just there talking for hours. And they were really nice, and they would come every day and have tea with us. And I was like, man, it'd be great if I could just do a little faster. I'm competing against Starbucks, competing against all these places. If I could just make this tea come out of here, it's just be so much faster.
Right. A lot of people want iced tea, so that takes a while to make it, to steep it and over ice.
Next day, the guy comes back. The person was one of my customers. He's like, I have an idea for you. You said you want to have that come out of those taps. I have a guy that can help you out with that. He's like, talk to this guy. He's a beer guy. So I call him up, and I'm all secretive.
From a local brewery?
A local place here in town, still open business. And this guy, his name was Sam. And I was like, hey, how's it going? I'm supposed to talk to you about this. And I was all secretive about it because I was like, this is top secret stuff here. And he's like, what do you need? I was like, oh, I need these taps to work. He's like, I can help you out with that. He's like, what do you got, some beer? I was like, no, it's not beer. He's like, well, what is it? I was like, I can't really tell you yet. It's a secret. Maybe just think of juice. Just juices. He's like, okay, I'll come out, whatever. So he comes out and sees my system. He's like, yeah, I can help you out with this and set you up with that. And all of a sudden, we had 4 taps. So we just had 4 taps. And it's still, those teas are still on our menu, on our tap system right now. So 4 taps. So people would come in, they're like, I like that. And I was like, well, that's going to take around 4 minutes. And they're like, okay. I was like, but I have tea on tap right here. How about this? They're all, sure, that's great. Oh, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get that. I'll come back for that. Oh, that's good again. Oh, this is great. I'm mixing and match. I was like, oh, this is great. Yeah. So all of a sudden, it started going there. And then a year later, I was like, we need to add more. We had another tower. Still, that tower was there. We just never used it. So now we had 2 towers, 8 teas. And people started coming in. And it was faster. And people were like, this is cool. This is a fun place. We started getting creative with our drinks. All of a sudden, 12 taps. Now 18 taps. No new location, 22 taps where it has now wine on tap and things like that. But during that process, we became like kind of a cult for the area. Like people was like, oh, we got to go to Center Leaf. Meet you at the Leaf. Meet you at the Leaf. And all of a sudden people started coming in, and we now had a packed house to the point where it was lying out the door. And we had a tiny, also again, 20 some feet wide. So it was definitely a step up, but it was still narrow. And we had a couch system, so it was very comfortable, but it was tiny. But people loved us, and we started getting better. And we hired a bunch of entertainers, so theater people, people that just were going to be really fun. So they were lively. I let them all wear their own clothes, so they were all doing their own thing. I had one guy, he used to wear like a tank top with hair just bursting out, and he was like this ladies' man, and he was always flirting with the girls, and the girls would come to see him. And him and my other employee, they became like this, it was like watching Tom Cruise and Cocktail. They're just mixing and matching drinks, and like, woo, here you go. Girls are just loving it. And I was like, all right, I think we have something here. over the years, we started getting bigger and better. Then 2020 happened. We basically had COVID, but right before, a place next to us went out of business. We jumped on it. We took down the wall between us, and now we have a place that's twice as big. During this time, we opened up another location downtown, and that's smaller. But then we've been building up, and now we're opening our third location. And it's all because of the Alchemist and things just moving forward and not giving up.
Yeah. I remember the first time I walked into your downtown location. And I'm like, this is cool because everything's, on tap, and you have a chai, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the chai is, that's my favorite by far.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I love the chai. Yeah. But I mean, the first time I walked into downtown there and I was like, I could be in and out. I don't have to wait. So I just come by and just go back to the office and stuff like that.
And murals, we try to make it into a home. We want it to be like a living room kind of home situation. We don't want people to feel like we're in corporate.
And our former barista, who now is in New York, he's an artist, and he's done so many of our murals.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the mural that's going on at your location. It's across our studios here at CS Design Studios on Tanca Verde, but what's the street location?
So it's literally Tanca Verde and Camino Serena.
It's the old Tino's.
Yeah, the old Tino's Pizza building.
Yeah, yeah. So and you think it's going to be open by February 9th? Is that
something like that? Yeah. Middle of February, I would say.
Yeah. And tell us about the mural. Aaron, you haven't heard this story yet. Yeah.
Well, the murals, we always try to find, something that's just close to us in mind. The last one was, we first started with a tree, tree of life and tree. And just, I loved, we love nature and things like that. So we did, our first mural was a tree and people like that. And then we got into, I'm really into music and Radiohead, one of my favorite bands. And they have this really cool music video where it shows waves of music. And I said, let's do waves. Let's make it look like it's like music. So we did that, and that's still at the university location. And then the new one, she really likes octopus. And
8 is a very powerful symbol.
It's our favorite number. So we said, let's do something. So we got a hold of a muralist here in town who's really known, Joe Paget. He's really awesome, amazing guy, amazing artist. So he was able to, say, okay, I got that. Let's see what I can do. So he came up with this beautiful design, and it's this octopus in the ocean playing musical instruments, and there's a little guy on top of him playing a flute. And we wanted to have something for the previous owner, which was Dino. He owned Tino's. So I was thought for sure his name would be Tino.
Yeah.
I was like, his name is Tino. No, it's Dino. I was like,
got it.
So Dino passed away in 2020, right before COVID, and his wife, who's also a great person, she kept it going with her family, but it just didn't work out in the long run. So they sold it, and we were able to buy it. And I said, hey, I'm community. I'm Tucson. I want to make sure I pass this on the right way, and we take over the torch, but we do it in a way that's part of the community. So I said we're going to do something for him as well, drink inside for him, and then also the mural will have something representing him. Wow. So that's the man on the octopus. Yeah. So we wanted to have that, and really hope the community kind of understands what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And you said the artist. I mean, if you've been by Campbell and Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been by Campbell and Grant? What's the first thing you always think of in that intersection? Oh, you're on this side of town, huh?
Yeah.
I drive by twice a day, and I see the whale mural.
The whales.
On the theater there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which are now going to be blocked.
That's where...
unfortunately.
That's where the Bookmas used to be, right?
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those whales are coming over. He was like, I've already done the whales. I was like, we love the whales. Tucson loves the whales. It's random. It's different. So we said, let's bring the whales. So they're traveling through Tucson. Now they're east side. Yeah. So now they're going to be on our mural in the background.
That's awesome. So the two of you were very vulnerable right now in telling us everything that, all the missteps. But if you can give some advice, 3 things to a local small business owner on, these are things that you can't negotiate. You have to have these 3 qualities, or what advice would you give to a local small business owner?
I mean, we already talked about perseverance. That's kind of the key. But the other thing is just really for me, I think it is consistency, showing up every day, no matter what.
Yeah.
Doing the same things every day, because most people, you can compare that to even athletes. You have to do the same mundane things every single day, which most people would stop because it's boring, not getting anywhere fast. But that's really how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then along with that, the idea of consistency with being a place where people can know and they're going to get support from the people that work there. I've always been amazed by how many businesses have people who work for their company and they just don't really offer anything in return. There's no energy exchange.
Yeah.
And we really try to find people who want to really, they enjoy humanity. They enjoy human beings. They want to actually make someone smile. They want to make
They want the interaction. They want to feed off of the energy and like make someone's day better.
Right.
So hiring, I feel, is so important. And I think people, they don't want to deal with the actual, like, is this really the right person for this job? They kind of go, well, you're applying, and I'm so happy you're applying, therefore you're hired. Or, I'll settle for you.
Yeah.
Instead, flip it and say, this is an amazing place for you to work. This is a beautiful place. I'm going to give you the support. I'm going to give you everything you need as an employer. And now I just want to make sure that you understand this is a contract in a sense of like, you're going to bring your A game. You're going to be a happy, joyous person to be around.
Yeah.
You're going to enjoy your time here. And honestly, if you don't enjoy working here, then I'd rather help you find another job. I'd rather help you find another path for you because maybe it's not for you to be here. I need people to work here to be very, happy and enjoy humanity. And you'd be surprised that you go into places and there's just, you go and I hate to say coffee shops, but there's something about like too much coffee where people start getting into a barista situation where they drink too much and they get impatient. And someone is kind of like doing something slightly wrong. They don't know how to order something. And then all of a sudden they kind of, you feel it. It's almost like you made a mistake as a customer. And I always want to make sure my people who work there, I was like, guys, first of all, the tea customers are super patient. They're always, we've been blown away after all these years that they are just so accommodating. I mean, they've never complained. I've given them
30 minutes
so many challenges. I've changed the script on them so many times, and they're always like, sure. When we first started, we had food. This is the weirdest thing in the world. When we first started, we said, oh, we got to have food. We're a coffee shop. We're a cafe. We got to have something, right? Well, what do I know how to cook? I actually don't know how to cook much. And I can't afford a cook or a chef or a baker or anything.
Does ramen go well with tea?
It's funny you say that because we start off. So I'm from New Mexico. I'm from Santa Fe, and we grew up on some staples over there. And one of them was called a Frito pie. Okay, so any of the listeners who are from New Mexico know about this. It's beans, red chili, chopped onions, tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, and Fritos on top. So that was our first
Perfect with tea.
offering. Wow. So you'd come in. I always remember our first customers ever. It was her coworkers came over. She worked for a company, and they were like engineers. They're all like kind of doing
carbon fiber.
Yeah. So they come over, and I'm like, oh, hey guys, how's it going? Great. I'm so happy you showed up. So we, they didn't know what to do. So they thought I was like a server, and I'm like, no, you just order for me, and I'll make you a drink, and you come and bring it up. You get it at the counter. Or maybe I'll bring it to you. That's fine. But like,
we
I'm
came
not a
in
server.
for lunch, and that was probably.
So I made my fresh batch of Frito pie. So these people are eating spicy red chili with onions with an iced tea on the side. And I was like, this is perfect. So then we said, maybe this isn't perfect because no one is really responding very well to this. So then we started adding, I started going, what else do I know how to make? Oh, I know how to make green chili stew. So we switched to stew, and then I would make stew all the time. And I remember one time I got to work late one time to make some more of the chili for the stew. And I literally, so I was taught to you boil the water and you put some chili in there and you basically get it, and then you blend it and then you basically make your chili. I changed it up now in my own personal life, but that's what we grew up doing. So I did that, and I'm steaming this stuff, right? So all that steam goes up in the air, and I'm in the back.
Spicy steam.
Making my food, and people in the front are ordering, and all of a sudden you start hearing, everyone starts, the entire tea house is coughing. I'm like, why am I coughing right now? I was like, oh my God, I just did that to everyone. I was like, maybe this isn't the best idea. And then we started doing chicken pot pie. But not
that
like a normal
lasted a while.
Pie. Yeah, people actually still ask about that. Yeah. And it was literally gravy, rotisserie chicken I got from Costco, and I would debone it. I would chop up my vegetables, and I'd make this gigantic, huge pot of it. And then we had Pillsbury crescents. So
wow.
we'd get a little, pop that thing open,
Actually,
put that in the
really
oven,
delicious.
Yeah.
put that right on top.
Wow.
Chicken pot pie.
Wow.
And they were like, let's get better. So we put
That's
a biscuit at the bottom, slathered it with all the stuff, then the crescent on top. And everyone's
That
like,
sounds
oh, this is
good.
great.
Yeah.
So wraps, soups. I made pies and mousses, and also I learned from a baker. We had a baker for like a week. She's like, I thought I was going to work here, but I can't. So I'm going to teach you I'm going to give you a crash course and teach you how to bake. Here you go. And I was like, oh my God, now I don't really still know what I'm doing here, but I'll do it. And then we did that for a while. So we've thrown everything at our customers.
But I would say like the third thing, if we're going back to advice for people,
Right.
now that, comes to mind is just like have a good sense of values.
I love that.
Because you have to stick with your values.
Right.
You can't ever veer away from that because then it's not authentic. And for us, we're all about family. We're all about service.
Right.
And our customers, our employees are our second family.
Yeah.
And so we always come from that standpoint.
Treat them that way. We really do.
Yeah.
They don't quit. We've had no turnover in 13 years.
Wow.
We've had 3 people quit that were like, I don't want to work here.
Wow.
Everything besides those people who I got to go to my career job, or I'm moving back home because I graduated.
Yeah.
But never during the middle of the semester like, oh, I don't want to work here.
Wow.
And we see resumes all the time, and we're like, oh, you worked for this place for 3 months, 6 months, a year. Our people, years. I mean, I have one person who's been with me. She's amazing. She's our mixologist, and she does great stuff for us. She's been with me for 10 years. So we really pride ourselves in making sure that we are actually listening and there for them.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of businesses need to understand that it's just not just hiring and forget about them. It's like you have to nurture, you have to help, you have to support. There's times where they need help with money.
Yeah.
I would give them loans, 0 interest loans, things like that, just to take care of them. Know that you have their back.
Wow. I think we could talk to the two of you like all morning. I mean, this is amazing, but let's kind of wrap this up. I don't want to, but tell us when the grand opening is. Are you going to have like a warm open, or how can the general public or someone who's never been to the Scented Leaf visit you on this day?
So we're gonna basically have a calendar of events that we're gonna be introducing, and it's gonna be different days for different industries to help out. So the initial grand opening is gonna be a private gathering, so we can serve beer and wine, and we don't have to charge anyone anything. So we're gonna get our friends and family and our regulars, and have them actually come in first. It's like, I guess in a sense, a soft opening, but we're not gonna charge anyone. And we just want to have a party. We're gonna have live entertainment. We're gonna have all sorts of fun stuff inside. I'm trying to see if I can bring in all sorts of random people to entertain people, right? Some jugglers and magicians.
He's not joking.
I know we do. We like to have that. It's fun. I'm all about, entertainment. So we want to have that, and then we'll do that over like a 2-3 day period, or on a weekend situation, probably around Valentine's time. So it'll be kind of fun. And then after that, we'll move into the calendar events, and that'll be like on Mondays, we'll take care of the nurses. Tuesdays, we'll take care of the teachers, things like that, where we can start offering them something really, like, in a sense, free. Like, come in, get you a free drink, get us, introduce ourselves to you, tell us what we're all about, show them what we created. I mean, it's 4,100 square feet of space. So our regular university location is 2,200. Our downtown's only 850, and this one is going to be 4,100. So we want to create a space, and I don't know if the second half of the location is going to be ready for the grand opening, but the first half will. The 2,200 square feet is going to be ready to rock and roll, and that'll be basically what we originally themed out, which is the seating situation similar to university. So a beautiful couch system. We don't skimp on seating and decor.
We want people to stay and have an experience. And be with their friends and have a social setting.
Plants galore. We have like 100 plants in our university location. So we're going to bring that to this location, make people feel what happens when you bring Mother Nature into the mix, and give them comfort versus like something where it's like, okay, now you need to leave. We need to turn this table. We don't believe in that. We never had. We had to give people. We wanted people to sit back in the day where it's like, hey, no one's coming into our shop, so. Please sit down. I don't care if you spend $4, you're going to sit there for the next 5 hours. When people walk by, they're thinking, well, why this person likes it? I'm going to go in there.
Right.
And that's what we've always said. We're not going to push people away. We're not going to rush them. We want them to enjoy themselves. Why we create so much seating and why we create comfortable seating for that reason.
Awesome. So where's the website? People could visit you?
thescentedleaf.com.
Okay.
Instagram, same handler.
And if you have like drinks that in our tea house, but you're not local also. Like you can order on our website, and we have pretty much everything, even our signature drinks and our cold brew packs that you can make at home. And
there's a product came out during COVID. That's great. Our signature drinks and a cold brew tea pack that you make at home. Throw a water pitcher, you're done.
You're going to be by there, Holly?
Of course. Of course. I'm a huge tea drinker. I can't drink coffee. I'm allergic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, tea has been my best friend. That's where I get my caffeine.
Yeah.
And, I'll definitely be there for opening.
Fantastic.
And probably every day after.
We
can't wait to see you.
Take care of you. Definitely take care of you.
Yeah. Well, thank the two of you for taking time out of your busy schedule. And, I know you're busy getting that build out now. And so I just really appreciate the two of you being here with us and sharing your story. It was absolutely amazing. So.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Aaron, thank you for engineering the show as always.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Could I get a clap? Could they get a clap?
Yes, of course.
And thank you all.
Standing ovation.
Wow. And thank everybody out there. If you have any questions for Nin and Shane, please put them in the comments. Whether you saw a little clip of this or the entire episode, please, put them in the comments, and we'll be sure to forward them to the two of them. So thank you both. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap on today's Marketing Corner with CS Design Studios. Remember, the journey to greatness is non-stop. Harness today's insights and let them fuel your ambitions. Big thanks to our community of go-getters and visionaries. And remember to subscribe and activate alerts to stay connected for more transformative ideas. Till next time, keep reaching for the stars.